Union Station is a transport hub and shopping center located in downtown DC, but did not always serve this function. Union Station has evolved as America has evolved throughout the 20th and now 21st centuries. It has served America as a supply depot when America was embroiled in the World Wars. Union Station served as a tourist destination in the heat of the Cold War. Now it serves as a bastion of capitalism visited by over 40 million people every year, including our crack team of researchers who will explore its 3 floors of history, architecture, and culture.
Union Station opened on October 27, 1907 and was completed in April 1908. The station was designed by Daniel Burnham and he was assisted by Pierce Anderson. The style that Burnham used while designing the station was Beaux Arts. This style evolved from French Classicism and French Neoclassicism. Beaux Arts heavily influenced the architecture in the United States during the time period from 1880 to 1920. Beaux Arts buildings are massive, usually constructed with stone, with a symmetrical facade front and flat or low-pitched roofs. The roof is held up by large decorative pillars called columns, arch windows, and grand arched entryways. Building details and decorations are elaborate and include rounded, convex surfaces called cartouches. There are sculptures both on the inside and outside the building. There are 6 sculptures on the outside, each a different Greek god or goddess. It is referred to as the progress of railroading. The statues symbolize fire, electricity, freedom, imagination, agriculture, and mechanics.
The Baltimore and Ohio Railway, along with the Pennsylvania Railroad, decided to come together and remove the track that passed through the National Mall in order to create the new Union Station. Through its history, Union Station has been through times of great triumph and of tribulation. From its initial opening to the mid-1940s, the structure took on its role very well and took care of up to 42,000 passengers per day. From 1908 until 1950, the hall was the waiting room, with mahogany benches, newsstands, coffee shops, and in one corner was the men's lounge, and in the opposite of the building was the ladies' lounge. USO took part of the building during World War I to help with the servicemen. During World War II, Union Station became the center of the world. Over 200,000 people crammed through the station. Most of the main hall had to be occupied by ticket counters. The East Hall was the dining area and remained a restaurant until the late 1950s. It is now a shopping center. The presidential suite was established on the east side of the building to keep the president safe. It was also used as ceremonial gathering. In World War I, the suite was used by the Red Cross, and in World War II, USO took over the facility. Presently, the presidential suite, or the presidential room, is a restaurant and a place that is reserved for special events. The train concourse, where the trains used to arrive, it used to have skylights, but they were removed in the 1920s. It is now a commercial retail facility. In the 1970s, the station became a National Visiting Center room, and the floor was removed to give way to a large room displaying pictures of Washington, D.C. The facility was referred to as the Pit, and it was ignored by customers, and it caused it to be closed. It all changed in the 1980s when the Secretary of Transportation decided that it was time to renovate Union Station and take it back to its glamorous initial state. Congressmen passed a legislation to turn the building into an intermodal transportation center once again, but with a commercial interest. Private partnership gave birth to the Union Station Redevelopment Corporation. The station was rehabilitated by including a mezzanine level within the concourse and a food court in the basement, and also dedicated areas to different companies providing services. The floors were restored and an elevation was installed to connect all three levels. The station reopened in 1988. In 2011, after the earthquake, the ceiling had damages. Over 3 years, there were repairs to the main hall ceiling with 120,000 sheets of 23-karat gold leafing, and a new steel support system was installed for the plaster.
Union Station is lavish with elaborate sculptures, Ionic columns, and grand marble corridors, and a mix of neoclassical and Beaux Arts designs. Neoclassical elements were used by Daniel Burnham and Pierce Anderson to relate Washington to Athens and Rome. The design of the station has massive scale that included a facade stretching more than 600 feet in length and a waiting room with a ceiling that is 96 feet above the floor. There were expensive materials such as gold leaf, which are on the ceiling, and granite used to build the station, as well as modern materials such as concrete and steel. The building is very grandiose in appearance, with very elaborate arches, a large amount of open space, and strategically placed windows. At the heart of the station, there displays a coffered plaster ceiling that rises 45 feet above the main floor and stretches 760 feet long. Standing on top of the 6 Ionic columns of Union Station's grand facade are 6 lifelike statues of prominent figures of antiquity: Prometheus, Thales, Themis, Apollo, Ceres, and Archimedes. Each statue represented a pursuit that built America. Prometheus is a representation for fire, Thales for electricity, Themis for freedom, Apollo for imagination, Ceres for agriculture, and Archimedes for mechanics.
Union Station is located in a spot well attuned to America's democratic values. It sits within clear sight of the Capitol and is in easy walking distance of the Mall, one of the most democratic forums in America. This ease of access to these areas complement the values Union Station represents.
The structure draws from many architectural influences related to the classics, including the baths of Diocletian and the Arch of Constantine. The main entrance and exterior shows similarities to the Arch of Constantine with its rounded entrances. It is also seen in the writing and the statues used in the design. The prevalent vaulted ceiling are representatives of the bath of Diocletian.
Union Station, D.C. is more than just a regular train station and a shopping mall. It has a long history with many connections to antiquity. From Beaux Arts style to triumphal arches, the building is elegant in appearance and symbolizes the past through the use of neoclassical elements. All of these characteristics in the design of Union Station reflected the growth of Washington. Today, the grandeur of the Union Station has attracted a massive number of tourists each year. The Washington Union Station is truly an important identity of Washington, D.C.